Coucou everyone! Welcome to another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing, why did Jesus pray? We all know that prayer is how we communicate with God. It comes in different forms: talking, meditation, fasting, and even trusting in Him, since believing in Him is like a prayer for protection, peace, and strength to continue in the path of righteousness. Some people who prayed to God were Hannah in 1 Samuel chapter 1 verses 9 to 13 and Hezekiah in Isaiah chapters 36 and 37. They prayed for things that they weren't able to get for themselves. However, Jesus Christ was not like these people. He was the Son of God. He had the Holy Spirit without measure, according to John chapter 3 verse 34. Yet, he actually did pray to God, and more than once in fact. So why did he do it? What would he gain? Well, we must understand that Jesus Christ came down to this world with a mission: to save humanity. As it was said in Luke, "For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost." Luke chapter 19 verse 10. We can also look at Matthew chapter 18 verse 11, John chapter 3 verses 16 to 17, and John chapter 12 verse 47. God had the whole mission planned out, and Jesus Christ was the one to carry it out. As it was said in Isaiah, "Also I heard the voice of the Lord, saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, Here I am, send me." Isaiah chapter 6 verse 8. We can also look at Hebrews chapter 10 verse 7 and Revelation chapter 5. This mission would improve his already strong connection with God, so even when he was on earth, that link between him and his Father didn't break or cease. Once it was time to begin the mission, Jesus Christ came to earth, and after 30 years he was anointed with the Holy Spirit, according to Matthew chapter 3 verses 16 to 17. After that, he began to preach the gospel, according to Matthew chapter 4 verse 17. However, the mission proposed different challenges. For example, in John chapter 11, Jesus needed to prove his power by resurrecting Lazarus, or else no one would believe in him. He knew that there was the chance of failure, and failure would make him look like a charlatan. Therefore, he prayed to God about the situation, according to John chapter 11 verses 41 to 45. He'd normally just say it in his head, but he said the prayer aloud to show that God answers prayers. Jesus wasn't even the first holy man to do this kind of thing. In 2 Kings chapter 4 verses 17 to 37, the Shunammite woman's son died, and when Gehazi tried to bring him back to life with Elisha's staff, it didn't work. Elisha then prayed to God about the situation, and he was able to resurrect the boy. Miracles aren't simple magic spells. They require a really strong connection to God, and prayers can strengthen that link. Jesus' biggest challenges, however, came near his death. This is when we really understand why Jesus prayed. At this stage, Jesus was feeling a lot of fear and tension. As it was said in Luke, "And being in an agony he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground." Luke chapter 22 verse 44. He was fearing that he wouldn't pass through this as planned by his Father, and he'd be a big disappointment to those in heaven. He couldn't imagine something worse than that. To get through this, he needed assistance and strength from a source beyond himself, so he talked to his Father about it in prayer. As it was said in Luke, "And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless not my will, but thine be done. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him." Luke chapter 22 verses 41 to 43. Of course, at any time, Jesus Christ could have easily ended his suffering with his power. It's just that there were prophecies that needed to be fulfilled, and people that needed to be saved. As it was said in Matthew, "Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled, that thus it must be?" Matthew chapter 26 verses 53 to 54. Thus, he didn't allow himself to escape the suffering. He prayed to God, and he received the strength to finish the mission. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. Why did Jesus pray? He prayed because at certain points in his earthly life, he needed extraordinary power to fulfill his mission. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.